Hello everyone and welcome to my G8 Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Plus, Brooklyn and Chase find out if they can adopt Phoebe. Sidwell promises to hold Sonny accountable for Marco's demise. On today's episode of General Hospital, we see Justine pleading with Jordan for help, Danny plotting revenge against the WSB, and Will interrogating Chase over Kai. Arriving to the chapel, Sonny tells Sidwell that he came to dispel any suspicion that he was involved in Marco's killing. Sidwell points out that Sonny had every justification to murder his son because the loss devastates and diverts him. James will be enabling the killer of Marco to walk free if he merely considers Sonny, who knows what it's like to have a kid slain. Sidwell maintains his belief that Sonny intended to send him a message by having Marco slain. Rick argues the ferocity of the murder demonstrates it wasn't his brother, as Sonny wouldn't inflict cruelty like this on Sidwell when he knows Sidwell might put him in prison. Sidwell has a greater problem, Sonny says, so he should quit thinking he killed Marco. The one responsible for Marco's death is one of his unnamed enemies. Sidwell thinks about what Sonny and Rick said before they leave. What does Justine ask for Jordan? At the gym, Justine bumps into Jordan, who had just returned from Marco's burial. Jordan asks Sidwell thinks Sonny murdered Marco and is out for blood, which Justine notes is unhealthy for poor Charles. Jordan is to inform Sidwell that Sonny could never have murdered Marco according to her request. Jordan observes she must have a lot of faith in Sonny, but Justine maintains this is about business and not about any feelings she does or doesn't have. Sonny has no motivation to go after Marco, and she doesn't see Sonny initiating a conflict with James that could blow back on his family. Jordan agrees, but how do they convince Sidwell? After their yoga session, they continue discussing Sidwell, and Justine says he's still a person of interest in Charlie's firebombing, with the WSB and Interpol monitoring him. As his right-hand person, she asks if Jordan will be okay. Jordan thinks she will be fine and says she had qualms about working with Sidwell, but this position is one she can leave at the office and finally has a work-life balance. Justine asks if she misses investing all into her profession. Jordan says sometimes, but her life is more fulfilling now. She won't be wishing she spent more time with the people she loves on her deathbed. What does Jacinda overhear? Danny stops by Crimson to see Charlotte. Jacinda asks Charlotte to help her categorize outfits after she and Danny catch up, and proceeds inside Nina's office. Charlotte understands Danny got into a fight and was suspended from school, and fighting won't fix anything. Jacinda eavesdrops, as Danny claims he wants to make the individuals who did this to his dad pay. Charlotte reminds him that the WSB did the same thing to her dad, and he's still in hiding for them. They are untouchable, and his dad cautioned him not to mess with the WSB. Danny says he has a plan and runs off. As they walk through the dresses, Charlotte vents to Jacinda that the only reason she's here is that her mom believes that if she's left alone, she'll contact her dad. But her dad is a fugitive, and she has no idea where he is. Charlotte accidentally reveals a little too much to Jacinda, noticing her mom and Nina all think they can outwit her dad, but her father knows what he's doing. What's Stella's latest bright idea? Stella swings into Portia's office at the hospital with a box of donuts. It's a bribe to encourage Portia to gather the whole family together to decorate the nursery for the newborn. Stella wants both her and Curtis to feel comfortable in each other's areas and in the nursery for the baby's sake. Portia can't say no to that or the donuts. After Stella leaves, Isaiah meets with Portia. Having just come from the burial, she fills him in on Aunt Stella's nursery decorating concept. Isaiah is annoyed by the idea and asks whether she's okay with this. He even mentions Stella worked her, as if she said no. She had to be the one standing in the way of everyone getting along. What's Trina's big news? Trina and Kai stop by Curtis and Jordan's apartment, informing Curtis that Stella wanted him to meet her there. As they wait for her, Trina tells her dad she'll be singing at Charlie's open mic night tonight. A happy Curtis says he'll be there front and center, but Trina doesn't want him there. Trina says she wants her first time performing to be peaceful and easygoing, and she doesn't want her own cheering section. Curtis thinks the crowd will love her, and her grandfather will want to be here, so get used to having a cheering section. Stella soon arrives and tells them about the nursery design plans. Trina is overjoyed by the concept, but Curtis doesn't look as enthusiastic. Stella wonders if he thinks it's one of her harebrained notions. But he finally speaks and believes this is one of his aunt's most creative ideas ever. Is Danny headed for danger? Danny shows up at Sonny's and talks to him and Rick about what the WSB did to his dad. He knows he can't save or release his dad, but he wants to make the WSB. Sonny understands how Danny feels, as he ended up where he is today at Danny's age. He won't let that happen to Jason's boy, and tells Danny this life costs too much. Rick understands Danny wants to help his dad, but to let him take care of things. Danny starts shouting that the WSB has to pay, and Sonny swears they'll take care of this. Danny ended up storming out. Will it be good news for Brooklyn and Chase? At the Quartermine estate, Brooklyn is ecstatic as she and Chase are ready to find out if they will be foster parents. Chase assures her that no matter what happens with Phoebe, they have their own plan to become parents. In the living room, Michael discovers Willow, who is waiting to meet with Brooklyn and Chase about becoming foster parents. He praises her for this and mentions he came by her house yesterday to talk to her about Kai. He wanted Kai to give Wiley some private baseball lessons, and Willow says she'll be fine with it. She then thinks about how Kai and Trina talked too much the other day, which tipped her off to their being there the night she shot Drew. Michael heads out, and Chase and Brooklyn meet with Willow. Willow spoke with family services and the social worker they spoke with, who was quite impressed by how they handled Wiley's poorly timed question. Her only concern was their intention to foster this infant and their possibly long-term plans for Phoebe. Brooklyn and Chase insist they are merely a safe spot for Phoebe to land temporarily. They realize this girl isn't theirs, they only want to help her. Willow believes it, and she said as much to the social worker. Brooklyn's expression, however, seems to tell another story. In the show's final moments, Michael shows up at Crimson, so Charlotte exits to fetch a coffee. Michael tells her about running into Willow and something about her adjusting to this new job so readily doesn't set well with him. Jacinda urges him not to worry, since things can turn on a dime. They kiss. At the cues, Willow tells Brooklyn and Chase they've been conditionally allowed to foster Phoebe, and the formal paperwork will come through when she's released from GH. Chase escorts Willow out and thanks her. She brings up how this new position finally enables her help people. But her new chief of staff is stirring the pot and wants to perform background checks on everyone, including Kai. She asks Chase if Kai's name came up in the case of Drew's shooting. She wouldn't frame Kai, would she? In her office, Portia informs Isaiah that Stella made good comments about decorating the nursery together, as they all want the baby to be happy, healthy, and secure. Isaiah tells her that if she can accept this, he can too. Across town, Trina, Kai, and Stella already started arranging the nursery colors and stencils. At the church, Sidwell declares what happened here proves that God is not watching, that Sonny Corinthos could come here in front of Marco's ashes and try and tell me that he didn't do it. What I know he did. He promises Marco that Sonny will pay, and he will be on his knees in the same agony he was. It won't bring his son back, but it will level the score. Finally, as Rick heads out of Sonny's apartment, Danny is hidden in the bushes. He overhears them discussing that Sidwell was the reason Britt and Jason were on the piers, and Rick theorizes that Sidwell set Jason up to get him out of the picture and leave Sonny defenseless. On the next General Hospital, it's reopening night at Charlie's. Dante confronts Lulu and Rocco about their secret, and Cassius has a warning for Britt, sister or not. General Hospital spoilers Tuesday, April 7. Dante calls out lying Lulu and Rocco. Cassius abandons Brit. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, April 7 state that Dante will confront Lulu and Rocco with some deception while Cassius aka False Nathan gets harsh with Brit. For begin, Curtis will convince Jordan that something depends on her. This may tie in with the couple's plans for a romantic night out at Charlie's pub for the grand reopening. Sonny will finally convince Christina that it's going to be a great night, but that won't be the case for everyone. Trina will supposedly struggle with some stage right, but Gio will pledge they'll get through this together. It looks like Gio will give Trina a pep talk and then accompany her on guitar. But the true calamity will come when Trina gets some awful news later. Curtis and Jordan are on the edge of being engaged in a vehicle wreck, so things should get crazy once Curtis Spencer and Valentine Cassadine get wrapped up in the drama. During Brooklyn's catch-up session with Lucy, there will be some tension. Brooklyn will warn that they can't do business this way, so she'll raise a problem and hope Lucy's eager to fix it. Or with Dante. He'll confront Lulu and Rocco about something they're withholding from him. It sounds like Dante will explain what he heard from Liz about Rocco's injured hand and question why neither one of them acknowledged his hospital stay. Of course, Rocco and Lulu will act like it was no big deal. Although Lulu will help Rocco sell the kitchen disaster story, she'll worried. Dante will eventually put the evidence together about Rocco shooting Ross Cullum. Next, Cassius will have a discussion with Brit concerning the danger Brit's in when it comes to Jane Sidwell. Sidwell isn't happy with Brit's betrayal, so Cassius will make it plain that she's on thin ice and needs to come through on the prototype ASAP. If you can't deliver, then sister or not, you are on your own, Cassius warns in Tuesday's GH preview video. General Hospital spoilers predict Cassius will make it apparent that family loyalty only goes so far, so stay tuned for the stressful events ahead. General Hospital spoilers. Carly and Valentine say victims of deadly car crash. General Hospital teasers predict that Curtis Spencer and Valentine Cassadine may wind up saving Jordan Ashford and Curtis Ashford after their car crashes on the side of the road. The GH trailer for the week of April 6 to 10 has just been revealed, and it looks like Curtis and Jordan are going toward a deadly fate. A footage shows them traveling and then a car gets crumbled up, with the engine on fire. In addition, Carly and Valentine will be driving along the same side road this week, so it sounds like Curtis and Jordan will crash for whatever reason, leaving Carly and Valentine in a precarious position. As fans know, Valentine is a WSB fugitive on the run, and the last thing he wants to do is to get caught. Yet, driving past a car crash knowing you can help save people is not something that Valentine would do. He and Carly will take a chance by stopping to offer their support. With that said, will Valentine get caught or will he help and then go into the woods and hide once authorities arrive? There's a potential that both Curtis and Jordan will be knocked out cold during the entire rescue mission. Perhaps one of them comes to during the save and recalls seeing Valentine. Neither Jordan nor Curtis is buddies with Valentine, or really Carly for that matter, so both the blonde and the WSB fugitive may fall in a whole lot of trouble for being two nice Samaritans. While Valentine is on the run, Carly has been aiding him along the way and even stashing him in her attic. The two forged an alliance earlier this year to bring Jack Brennan down and have fallen in love in the process. If Jordan or Curtis recognize Valentine or recall him being there during the save and say something to someone, both Valentine and Carly could find themselves in quite the problem. Could they say something in front of Brennan when they recall the story? The WSB might get drawn into the investigation if the car's crash was caused to malfunction in brakes lines or something that type. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Valentine's cover could be blown, so will Carly bring Jordan or Curtis into the loop and implore either one to remain hush-hush about what they saw? After all, they may owe Valentine their lives. General Hospital spoilers. Mystery date night derailed. This couple's evening takes terrible turn. General Hospital spoilers hint that one romance is about to get a little more complex. Things will start out on a bright note as a strange pair tries to kick off a fun date night. Unfortunately, the fun won't last for long. This loving duo may rapidly find they're in over their heads when this date spins in an unexpected way. Although the show hasn't confirmed who exactly will be on this date, it hasn't prevented some viewers from speculating online. It will certainly be intriguing to see who goes out for a night on the town and confronts a horrible bombshell on April 7. It seems probable it will be Gio and Emma who attempt and fail to have this fantastic date night. It aligns with several impending GH spoilers and other hints, so let's talk about those. For starters, the grand reopening of Charlie's Pub will bring open mic night and could offer Gio's opportunity to put his musical talents back on show. That said, Gio's views regarding music are still complicated, so he might retreat when it's time to play publicly or even botch the performance while it's in process. Either way, Emma may be more interested in making sure Gio's okay than fretting about if their date is flawless. Gio's going to apologize on the April 8 episode, so he may let Emma know he's sorry for ruining their date. Although Gio must have intended to make the night exceptional, he may confess that things didn't go according to plan. There could be other reasons why this dating duo's night goes off the rails. It's wise to proceed with caution in Port Charles as you never know what problems might be lurking around the corner. Nevertheless, Emma isn't someone who'd allow one horrible evening ruin her relationship with Gio. Since Gio's likely to be full of appreciation on April 9, Emma must say all the right things and relieve his mind. Of course, the show's gearing up for a Broadway crossover that will begin at the end of April. Gio will wind up taking Emma to New York City on a romantic getaway that incorporates the Aladdin theatrical show. All that may be Gio's strategy to do things right this time and give Emma the date night of her dreams. Gio may go out all the breaks in response on this dating drama, and Emma's compassionate response. Regardless, the mystery daters will get derailed before Gio confesses he's sorry. Emma's reassurance will arrive shortly after. Thus, GH writers might utilize this dating mishap to set the atmosphere for Gio's great knee in NYC gesture. General Hospital spoilers suggest Emma and Gio have some shocks coming soon. So, stay tuned for all the exciting news ahead. General Hospital comings and goings for 2026. Exits, returns, new arrivals, recasts, special guests, plus air date. General Hospital spoilers say the land of Port Charles may be whirlwind of activity when it comes to fresh character, arrivals and departures. Special guests arriving. Broadway actor Michael James Scott, who's played Ginny in the musical Aladdin since 2019, will engage in a multi-episode plot starting Friday, April 24. Scott is slated to play himself will be a part of a storyline that incorporates Emma Scorpio Drake and Gio Palmieri. Other arrivals to GH so far in 2026 including Lily Cardone, who played Delilah, a pregnant woman that Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase found in distress on a romantic walk. The character debuted on March 3 of this year and ended up passing away in the hospital shortly after she gave birth. She left behind a baby daughter, Phoebe. But Delilah's identity and relationship to Port Charles remain a mystery. Major returns. General Hospital viewers are bracing up for the return of Ethan Lovett, played by Nathan Dean. The kid of Luke Spencer and Holly Sutton is set to arrive in Port Charles on Friday, April 17. Maxie Jones finally came up from her coma earlier in 2026. After a 6-month sabbatical, Kirsten Storms resurfaced on canvas, much to her fans' joy on February 12. The actress temporarily quit the job in August 2025 owing to health concerns and a move from Los Angeles to Nashville, Tennessee. It has since been confirmed that Kirsten has been removed off contract at GH. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.